नमस्कार, आप सुन रहे वेणुध्वनि 90.4 FM KLE कनसू। भाषा संगम प्रोग्राम में मनीषा आपका स्वागत करती है। आज के भाषा संगम में हम सुनेंगे श्रीमती शेफाली वैद्य जी को। श्रीमती शेफाली वैद्य बहुभाषिक लेखिका है, स्तंभकार और प्रेरक वक्ता है। भारतीय इतिहास, संस्कृति और विरासत पर उनके कार्य के लिए उन्हें व्यापक रूप से पहचान मिली है। उनके विचार और प्रेरणादायक संबोधन ने श्रोताओं को प्रेरित किया और समाज में महिलाओं की बदलती भूमिका पर सार्थक चिंतन को प्रोत्साहित भी किया। तो चलिए सुनते हैं आज के भाषा संगम में श्रीमती शेफाली वैद्य जी को।
Namaste everybody, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. When I was coming in, I saw the banner of the women's cell and the name of the women's cell, Swashakti, was something that I really found very interesting. क्योंकि स्वशक्ति, ये जो शक्ति शब्द है ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। हमारी संस्कृति में स्त्री को ही शक्ति बुलाया गया है। इसलिए जब हम विमेन सशक्तिकरण की, स्त्री सशक्तिकरण की बात करते हैं तो मुझे थोड़ी सी हंसी आती है, क्योंकि जो खुद शक्ति है उसको कोई और सशक्त कैसे कर सकता है? How can you empower somebody who is by definition Shakti or who is by definition power? In fact, the only person who can empower a woman is the woman herself. क्योंकि वो खुद शक्ति है, वो केवल वही अपने आप को सशक्त बना सकती है। इस साल की विमेंस डे की थीम है गिव टू गेन, कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ देना. दॅट इज समथिंग वी हॅव ऑल हर्ड. आपण लहानपणापासून ऐकतो, काहीतरी मिळवण्यासाठी काहीतरी द्यावं लागतं, काहीतरी किंमत द्यावी लागते, काही दिलं तरच काही मिळू शकतं. पण आजचा जो उद्देश आहे किंवा आजचा जो विषय आहे गिव्ह टू गेन इज नॉट अबाउट द ट्रेडिशनल रोल्स दॅट वी हॅव बीन डुईंग. I know when I talk about give to gain, and there are no men in this audience, but if they were, वो बहुत खुश होते, क्योंकि स्त्री जो है वो देती ही रहती है अपने हर रोल में, चाहे वो बेटी हो, चाहे वो पत्नी हो, चाहे वो बहन हो, चाहे वो माँ हो, चाहे वो सास हो, चाहे वो बॉस हो, चाहे वो एम्प्लॉई हो. देना उसको सिखाना नहीं पड़ता, वो बचपन से जानती है कैसे देते हैं. इसलिए हमारे लिए यह नया विषय नहीं है, लेकिन हम जिस पर्सपेक्टिव से उसको आज देखेंगे वो नया है, क्योंकि मैं आपको कुछ कहानियाँ सुनाने जा रही हूँ जो हमारे अपने इतिहास से है, जो हमारे यहाँ सदियों से हमारी विमेन लीडर्स, जो हमारी रानियां थीं, वो इस प्रिन्सिपल को कैसे प्रॅक्टिस करती आई है. आपल्याला असं वाटतं की जे सगळे मोठे रोल मॉडेल आहेत स्त्रियांमधले ते आपल्याकडचे नाही आहेत. ज्या सगळ्या एम्पॉवर्ड बायका आहेत, सो कॉल्ड कोट अनकोट, ह्या सगळ्या भारताबाहेरच्या आहेत. पण तसं नाही आहे. आणि आत्ता तुम्ही बघाल, मी ज्या तुम्हाला गोष्टी सांगणार आहे त्या गोष्टी आहेत आपल्या इतिहासातल्या स्त्रियांच्या, ज्यांनी आपल्या वेळी वेगवेगळ्या प्रश्नांचा सामना केलेला आहे, वेगवेगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स फेस केलेले आहेत आणि त्याच्यातनं त्यांनी वाट काढलेली आहे. पण त्याच्या आधी मला तुम्हाला एक प्रश्न विचारायचा आहे. तुमच्यापैकी कुणाला वाटतं की तुमच्या आयुष्यामध्ये प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत? कसलेही प्रॉब्लेम्स असू देत. बिकॉज एव्हरीबडी हॅज प्रॉब्लेम्स. ओके, एव्हरी पर्सन इन दिस वर्ल्ड हैज प्रॉब्लम्स. अगर प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं है तो देयर कैन बी ओनली टू पॉसिबिलिटीज. वन इज यू आर डेड, that is why you don't have any problems. Other one is you don't feel anything, because every living human person has problems. There may be small problems, there may be big problems, पण प्रॉब्लेम सगळ्यांना असतात. आणि आज जेव्हा आपण वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट विमेन इन द वर्क स्पेस, प्रॉब्लेम्स फेस्ड बाय विमेन, वी टॉक अबाउट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, वी टॉक अबाउट नॉट बीइंग गिवन इक्वल अपॉर्च्युनिटीज, वी टॉक अबाउट फॅमिलीज नॉट बीइंग सपोर्टिव्ह, वी टॉक अबाउट सिंगल पेरेंटिंग. सगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स आजच्या स्त्रिया ज्या फेस करतात वर्कप्लेसमध्ये आणि घरीसुद्धा, हे सगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स तुम्हाला आश्चर्य वाटेल, पण हे आजचे प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं हैं. जिन स्त्रियों की कहानियाँ मैं आपको बताने जा रही हूँ, उन स्त्रियों ने भी यही सारे प्रॉब्लम्स फेस किए थे जो हम आज 2026 में फेस कर रहे हैं. हमें ऐसा लगता है हमारे चैलेंजेस यूनिक हैं, हमें ऐसा लगता है हमारे प्रॉब्लम्स यूनिक हैं, हमें ऐसा लगता है कि पेट्रियार्की से सिर्फ हम झगड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। हर सदी में, हर युग में, हर एज में, हर साल में देयर वेर विमेन हु हैव हैड टू फेस द सेम प्रॉब्लम्स बट दे हैव फॉट विद ग्रेट रेजिलियंस, और उन्होंने अपना रास्ता निकाला हुआ है। कैसे निकाला हुआ है? चलिए मेरे साथ एक जर्नी पे चलिए, मैं आपको उन स्त्रियों की कहानी सुनाने जा रही हूँ। विमेन रूलर्स इन भारत हैव ऑलवेज प्लेड अ सिग्निफिकेंट रोल, और उनकी कहानियाँ हमें क्यों जाननी है? जैसे मैंने बताया कि हमें ऐसा लगता है कि ये तो सारी इतिहास की बातें हैं, इनका आज के जीवन से कोई संबंध नहीं है। आजच्या आयुष्यात आपल्याला जे प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत ते यांना कसे कळणार? या आता 12व्या शतकातल्या आहेत, 13व्या शतकातल्या आहेत, 15व्या शतकातल्या आहेत, त्यांचे प्रॉब्लेम्स वेगळे, आपले प्रॉब्लेम्स वेगळे, असं आपल्याला वाटू शकतं। पण ते तसं का वाटू नये हेच मी तुम्हाला सांगणार आहे। आपण जाऊया आता 12व्या शतकामध्ये। पहिली जी कहाणी मी तुम्हाला सांगणार आहे ती नायकी देवी नावाच्या राणीची होती। आप में से किन किन लोगों ने इनका नाम सुना है? ये कौन थी? क्योंकि मैं हमेशा नायकी देवी की कहानी से शुरू करती हूँ, क्योंकि मैं गोवा से हूँ और नायकी देवी भी गोवा से थी। वो कदम्बा प्रिंसेस थी और उन्होंने मोहम्मद घोरी को डिफीट किया था। वही मोहम्मद घोरी जिसकी कहानी हम बाद में सुनते हैं, जिन्होंने पृथ्वीराज चौहान को डिफीट किया और उसको बहुत बुरी तरह से उनका छल करके उनको मारा। ये कहानी हम बाद में सुनते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले हम ये नहीं जानते कि एक ऐसी वुमेन लीडर थी जिन्होंने उसको डिफीट करके वापस भेज दिया अफगानिस्तान। चलिए उसकी कहानी सुनते हैं। तो शी वॉज, एज आई सेड, शी वॉज अ कदम्बा प्रिंसेस फ्रॉम गोवा, और उनका विवाह जो हुआ था वो पाटन में, जो गुजरात में है, वहाँ सोलंकी मतलब चालुक्य, जो चालुक्य यहाँ थे कर्नाटक में, वही चालुक्य की एक ब्रांच गुजरात में थी जहाँ उनको सोलंकी बोलते थे। तो उस घराने में उसका विवाह हुआ था। उसके पति का नाम था अजय पाल। वो बहुत जल्दी उनकी डेथ हो गई, और जब वो अजय पाल की डेथ हो गई तब उनका बेटा सिर्फ 2 साल का था। उसका नाम था मूलराज। नाउ शी वॉज अ विडो। उसका 2 साल का बेटा था। दिस इज नॉट ऑफ टुडे, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट 12th century India, and all the narratives that we have read in history books will tell us what, कि पति मरने के बाद स्त्रियों को सती जाने पे मजबूर किया जाता था। They were forced to do sati. They did not have any power. I am giving you a story where this woman says she doesn't do what is expected of her. In this situation, she accepts charge. She becomes the queen regent. उसका बेटा नाम से एक राजा है 2 साल का, उसका राज्याभिषेक करते हैं, लेकिन सारे डिसीजंस वो लेती है। और ऐसी सिचुएशन में when she is very vulnerable, she would be at that time not older than 20. In those days, people would get married at the age of 15, 16. So by the time she got her child and her child is 2 years old, she is 20, 22. आज की एज में हम लोग पढ़ रहे होते हैं, उस टाइम पे she decides to take a stand. And remember, this is a small kingdom, and when Muhammad Ghori comes, somebody tells him, this is yours for the picking. क्योंकि रानी है, विधवा है, उसका बेटा 2 साल का है, उसको कोई अनुभव नहीं है, 20 साल की है। आप अगर बस उसको सराउंड कर लोगे एंड यू से दैट यू हैंड ओवर द किंगडम, शी विल जस्ट hand you over the keys. She won't even fight. She's in no position to fight. That is what Ghori is told. So Ghori challenges her. Then what happens? She defeats Muhammad Ghori in the battle of Kasarhada. Now, how does she defeat it? आज मैं एक लाइन में आपको बोल रही हूँ कि उन्होंने मोहम्मद घोरी को डिफीट किया, लेकिन कैसे डिफीट किया? एक 20 साल की लड़की ने एक बहुत पावरफुल एम्परर जिसकी हजारों की आर्मी थी, उसको कैसे डिफीट किया होगा? What kind of strategic thinking she must have had? So one thing she did was, the first thing she did, and this she could do only because she was a woman ruler. She sent letters to all her neighboring kingdoms and she said, देखो आज मुझ पे जो वक्त आया है वो कल आप पे भी आ सकता है. Today Muhammad Ghori will defeat me, but tomorrow once he has my kingdom, he is not going to spare you. He is going to attack you and he is going to defeat you. So please help me out here. Now, because she was a woman, and in those days the male kings also thought that, oh no, how can we help a woman? So none of them responded, very few responded. Then she made another request. She said कि ठीक है, you don't want to send your army to help me, that's fine, but at least keep the children and the women from my kingdom, take them and give them refuge in your kingdom. At least मेरे राज्य में जो स्त्रियां हैं, जो छोटे बच्चे हैं, उनको तो आप कम से कम सहारा दे दो, so that at least when the war happens, I don't have to worry about them. And her neighboring kings agreed to that. So she first sent the women and the children away to safety, and then she told the men in her kingdom, the warriors, that look, I am expected to just surrender without a fight, but I am not going to do that. We are going to fight. And we are going to fight at a time and place of our choosing, because we know the place, Muhammad Ghori doesn't. So that is why she chose Kasarhada, which is in the Aravalli Mountains, which was a mountainous region, which her soldiers knew. And she sent a group of soldiers, and Muhammad Ghori came with a huge army, which had like musicians, which had dancers, which had all sorts of, entertainers. So she sent a crack regiment from her army, disguised as musicians, disguised as entertainers, to go and infiltrate Ghori's camp. And then she attacked. So when she attacked, the people who had already entrenched in the Ghori's army, they also fought. They took the army by surprise. And that is how she defeated him. And she defeated him so soundly that he actually went back. और उसके बाद उसने भारत पे कभी भी गुजरात के थ्रू एंटर नहीं किया. बाद में जो वो आया, वो पंजाब से आया और प्लेन्स में आया, दिल्ली पे उसने आक्रमण किया, लेकिन गुजरात के थ्रू वो कभी नहीं आया, क्योंकि नायकी देवी ने उसको इतना साउंडली डिफीट किया था. ये हमें कैसे पता चलता है? We know about it from a 13th century account called Minhaj-e-Siraj, which was written by one of the contemporaries of Ghori himself. मतलब शत्रु ने लिखा है, ये हमने नहीं लिखा है. शत्रु ने कहा है कि उसने मोहम्मद घोरी को डिफीट किया था, एंड उसका रिजल्ट हम जानते हैं, क्योंकि घोरी ने उसके बाद कभी भी गुजरात से भारत पे चढ़ाई नहीं की. सो व्हाट डिड शी गिव एंड व्हाट डिड शी गेन? एनी आंसर्स? एनी गेसेस? She was expected to just give up. She didn't. She was expected to just hand over the keys to her kingdom. She didn't. She chose to fight. That's what she gave. She gave her spirit. What did she gain? Unfortunately, not much. In 2026, very few people know of her story, which is why I'm telling you this story, so that we should know it and we should remember our own heroes. Now we come to Rani Rudramma, who was from Warangal, again 13th century. Now here is a very interesting case. So her father, Raja Ganapati, had two daughters. She was a very capable woman and he knew that, so he groomed her. उन्होंने अपनी बेटी को घुड़सवारी सिखाई, उसको लड़ना सिखाया, उसको सारा स्ट्रैटेजी सिखाया, जो जो उन दिनों में लड़के को सिखाया जाता था, प्रिंस को सिखाया जाता था, ताकि वो युवराज बने, ताकि वो पिता के बाद राजा बने, वो सब कुछ उन्होंने अपनी बेटी को सिखाया. और but obviously you can imagine, even today when somebody is grooming, there is a big businessman, for example, I don't know, whatever empire, and that person has in a family business, he has a son and a daughter, and if he chooses his daughter to become the successor over the son, there is still resentment, there is still opposition. People still ask the questions, why the daughter, why not the son, right? And this happened in 13th century. So all the courtiers said, but you appoint your brother's son as the king, why your daughter? She will get married, she will go to some other kingdom. उसको क्यों राजा बनाना है? वो तो शादी करके चली जाए. आप अपने भाई के बेटे को राजा बनाओ. But the king said, no, she is capable. I know she is capable. I have faith in her. So she will be the ruler after me. So he did something called Putrika Yajna. And after that, we are talking about fluidity of gender today. So she used to go to war. Even in this statue, she is dressed as a man. Full armor. But she also got married, she had a child, she had a family of her own, and she ruled as a woman as well as she ruled dressed up as a man. Now आप मुझे बोलोगे तो उसको तो अंत में पुरुष का ही कपड़ा पहनना पड़ा ना, तो what is so great about it is a question you might want to ask me. See, the point is, she didn't dress like that for herself. It was just a role she played for acceptance. Like many times when we face challenges in our professional lives, in our personal lives, we do small adjustments to get the big things. That's what she did. She just changed her dress to suit those mores, to give the people confidence that yes, I can fight. But once they saw that she was capable of it, once they saw that she could fight, after that her dress didn't matter, as it happens even today. Now we come to a queen called Rani Karnavati. She is the Rani Karnavati from Gadwal, from the mountains, not from Rajasthan. There was another Rani Karnavati. So ये जो Rani Karnavati है, she is known as Nakkati Rani. Why is she known as Nakkati Rani? Not because she cut her own nose, but because she was a really smart woman. Her story is a little bit like Nike Devi. So she was the queen of Uttarakhand, Gadwal, and after the death of her husband in 1631, uska beta Prithviraj was only 7 years old. And that time, exactly like Muhammad Ghori, that time Shah Jahan was ruling Delhi, and he realized that here is a small kingdom, mountain kingdom, which is run by a woman, a widow, and a small boy who is 7 years old. तो बहुत आसानी से मैं उसको टेक ओव्हर कर सकता हूँ, खूप सोपं आहे हे राज्य जिंकून घेणं, असं शहाजहानला वाटलं. त्याच्यामुळे त्याने तिच्या आर्मीची अख्खी स्ट्रेंथ 5,000हून जास्त नसेल, कारण एक छोटंसं माउंटन्समधलं राज्य होतं ते, आणि शहाजहानने 30,000ची आर्मी पाठवली. आता दोज हू हॅव बीन टू उत्तराखंड वुड नो दॅट गढवाल इज लाईक हाय इन द माउंटन्स. So to go there, to reach her kingdom, you have to climb the mountainous paths, and in those days there were no roads. So you had to basically go by a small path. तिच्याकडे obviously she did not have sophisticated cannons or a lot of arms and ammunition like Shah Jahan had. But she had two advantages. One was her position. Her kingdom was at a height. So anybody who was charging on her kingdom, she could see from afar that the soldiers are coming up. One. Second, her arms and ammunition was what? What was easily available for her on the mountains? Rocks, the dagad. So what she did was, before the army was coming to charge, she got everybody from her kingdom to break down rocks and pile them up at strategic points. And when she saw the army coming up, they would just roll huge rocks from the top, and they would go and they would hit the army, and then the elephants would panic, the horses would panic, and that is why that complete mayhem would happen, and the army was forced to retreat. त्याच्यानंतर मग तिचे soldiers जाऊन fight करायचे. By the time there is complete chaos in the army. So she caught Shah Jahan's sardars like that, and she did not kill them. A male king would have probably killed. She cut off their noses and she sent them back as a lesson कि एक रानी ने आपका नाक कट दिया, metaphorically also, physically also, so that when you go back you do not have the हिम्मत, परत तुमच्याकडे हिम्मत नसली पाहिजे की माझ्या राज्याकडे तुम्ही वाकड्या डोळ्याने पाहाल. आणि तसंच झालं. त्याच्यानंतर तिच्या राज्याकडे कोणी डोळा वर करून पाहिलं नाही, आणि she ruled till she was old, and then her son became the king after that. Then we go to Ullal in Karnataka. हिचं तर नाव ऐकलंच असेल. So hers is also a very, very interesting story. She fought with the Portuguese for 40 years. That shows consistency, that shows perseverance. एक युद्ध में भाग लेना, उसमें जीत जाना एक बात होती है, और 40 साल तक एक बहुत प्रबल सत्ता के साथ लड़ना, again and again, to keep fighting against the same power, change your tactics according to the need of the hour, and keep fighting, not giving up, is a whole skill set that many of us could do with even today. So the Chautas were a matrilineal dynasty, and she defeated Portuguese for 4 decades. First she defeated Don Alvaro de Silveira, then João Peixoto with the help of 200 soldiers against 3,000 Portuguese soldiers. बस उसके पास बस 200 लोग थे. The Portuguese attacked from the sea with 3,000 soldiers. So again she had strategic thinking. She was in Ullal. The Portuguese were approaching, the ships were approaching from the sea. She knew that they were far more powerful than what she could handle. So what did she have? She had brains. So what she did was, she fired arrows with the tips dipped in oil and put fire in them, and she fired those arrows onto the ships. The ships caught fire, and that is how the Portuguese were forced to retreat. Unfortunately, her own husband betrayed her, so that is why she was captured. She was never defeated, she was captured, and then she died in captivity. Now we come to my favorite queen and my absolute role model, देवी अहिल्याबाई होळकर. आज हम जो रोते हैं ना हमारे प्रॉब्लम से हैं, सिंगल पेरेंट हूँ, ब्रोकन फैमिली से आई हूँ, माई फैमिली डजेंट अंडरस्टैंड मी, माई हस्बैंड डजेंट अंडरस्टैंड मी, माई चिल्ड्रन डोंट अंडरस्टैंड मी, nobody listens to me. I was widowed at a very young age. Whatever problems that you may have today, everything she had faced and then some. So she belonged to a very ordinary family, Dhangar family. She was handpicked by Peshwa Bajirao when he saw her. जब पेशवा बाजीराव ने उनको देखा, पेशवा बाजीराव पहले जो थे उन्होंने उसको देखा था, छोटी लड़की को, तब वो किसी युद्ध की सवारी में थे और उनके साथ मल्लाराव होळकर थे जो उनके बहुत ट्रस्टेड सरदार थे. जब उन्होंने छोटी अहिल्या को देखा तब वो 10-12 साल की थी, तो उनको ऐसा लगा कि ये लड़की बहुत स्मार्ट है, ये बहुत होशियार है. तो उन्होंने मल्लाराव को बोला कि आपके बेटे के लिए ये लड़की अच्छी रहेगी, शी इज़ व्हेरी स्मार्ट, शी इज़ व्हेरी केपेबल. तर मल्हाररावांना पण ते पटलं आणि मल्हाररावांनी तिचं लग्न स्वतःच्या मुलाशी करून दिलं. पण त्यांचा जो मुलगा होता, ही वॉज नॉट केपेबल, शी वॉज केपेबल. त्याच्यामुळे आणि हे मल्हाररावांना कळलं होतं, हे महत्त्वाचं. सो मल्हारराव अँड गौतमाबाई त्यांची बायको ह्या दोघांनी एक्सेप्ट केलं होतं की त्यांचा मुलगा तेवढा केपेबल नव्हता, बट देअर डॉटर इन लॉ वॉज फार मोर केपेबल. सो दे ग्रूम्ड हर, दे टॉट हर to read, to write, to look after Rajyakarbar, to fight, everything. They assumed that their son is not going to do anything great in life, but their daughter-in-law has the power to do that. Their son died very young in a freak incident in a battle. आणि त्याच्यानंतर त्या ॲक्च्युली त्या काळच्या रूल्सप्रमाणे सती जायला निघालेल्या होत्या अहिल्याबाई. तेव्हा मल्हारराव स्टॉप्ड हर अँड ही टोल्ड हर दॅट आय विल फील नाव दॅट that you are my son and save me, save this kingdom, because if you also go, there will be nobody who will look after the kingdom. So after this, you think of the kingdom as your child, and for that kingdom at least come back, don't go sati. And he brought her back from the pyre. And imagine this is in 18th century, okay? So the kind of popular resentment she would have had to face for this, कारण लोकांच्या मनावरती तो पगडा पडलेला असतो ना की ती नवरा मेला म्हणजे या राणीने सती जायला पाहिजे होतं, तर ती सती गेली नाही, त्याच्यामुळे तिला किती लोकापवाद सहन करावे लागले. हाऊ मच ऑफ गॉसिप शी मस्ट हॅव एन्ड्युअर्ड, यू कॅन इमॅजिन. And unfortunately, she had one son and one daughter. Her son, who she hoped that would be the next king, he also turned out to be a very incapable, good for nothing, even sadistic person who had a lot of mental issues. So he died very early in a tragic, he committed suicide actually because he had accused somebody falsely. Now her son is dead, her father-in-law is dead who had raised her, her husband is dead, her daughter had got married, her daughter had some happiness, daughter had a son, so she was now grooming her grandson to become the king after her. But he also died young. So it's like in front of her, everybody she loved had died. And it would have been so easy to give up. It would have been so easy to consider suicide. It would have been so easy to say की हे मला नको आहे काही, मी कशाला चिंता करू, माझ्या मागे तर कोणी नाही आहे, माझा मुलगा गेला, सून गेली, जावई गेला, मुलगी गेली, नातू गेला, आता कुणासाठी करायचं हे राज्य, असं वाटणं कुणालाही वाटू शकतं. पण शी thought that her kingdom and the people in her kingdom were her children, and for the rest of her life she dedicated to their welfare. आज सुद्धा तुम्ही जर महेश्वरला जाल near Indore, and if you see her वाडा, you will see that it is starkly simple. त्याच्यामध्ये काही रॉयल नाही आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये काही श्रीमंत नाही आहे. एक साधी गादी आहे बाहेर जिथे त्या बसायच्या आणि जिथे लोक येऊन त्यांना त्यांचे प्रॉब्लेम सांगायचे आणि त्या प्रॉब्लेम सोडायच्या. त्यांनी फक्त आपल्या राज्यापुरतं पण नाही केलं. शी बिल्ड घाट्स ऑल ओव्हर इंडिया, शी बिल्ड धर्मशालाज. अगदी आज भी अगर आप केदारनाथ से रामेश्वरम कहीं भी अगर आप जाते हैं तो वहाँ आपको मंदिर दिखेंगे जो अहिल्याबाई ने बनवाए हैं, आपको वहाँ पे धर्मशाला दिखेगी जो अहिल्याबाई ने बनवाई है, आपको नदियों पे घाट दिखेंगे जो अहिल्याबाई ने बनवाए हैं. उन्होंने इतना काम किया है अपने लाइफ टाइम में, और वो भी अपने पर्सनल इनकम से. शी डिड नॉट यूज द टैक्स मनी of her kingdom to fund all these social welfare things. She used her own money to fund all these public charity projects. आज बराबर उसका उल्टा होता है. जो रूल करते हैं, जो राज्य करते हैं हमारे ऊपर, वो सरकारी खर्चे से अपनी पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी बनाते हैं। उसने अपनी पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी से पूरे राज्य के लिए इतना काम कर दिया है जो आज भी हम भारत में कहीं भी जाते हैं तो वो आपको दिख जाता है। अब मैं आती हूँ मेरी दूसरी फेवरेट रानी सेम्बियन महादेवी। ये तो 9th सेंचुरी की हैं, चोल क्वीन थी, द ग्रेट राजा चोला's ग्रेट ग्रैंडमदर। नाउ इन 9th century she also lost her husband, but after she lost her husband, it's what she did with the political power she had that was most important. So she was far thinking enough. आज हम जो चोला आर्किटेक्चर देखते हैं या चोला मंदिर देखते हैं, जो तंजावुर में बड़ा मंदिर है या गंगईकोंड चोलपुरम में जो बड़ा मंदिर है, उसकी शुरुआत इन्होंने की थी। शी स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड चोला आर्किटेक्चर। शी बिल्ट 14 temples in the time that she ruled. She established Veda Pathshalas in the villages of Tamil Nadu. She built reservoirs. She built dams. She built roads. And she was so revered that even though she was Raja Chola's father's uncle's wife, even when he became a very well-known and famous king after her, he made sure that her kingdom was respected and her temples were protected, and he continued to patronize those temples. So she ruled as a regent for her son. Now we come to Rani Lakshmi Bai. इनके बारे में तो सबको पता होगा. How many of you, all of you must have heard of her at least, no? She is probably the only one that most people know. That's because we know the story. Now hers is also a very interesting story. She also had a choice. So when her husband died and when the British refused to let her adopt a son, she could have chosen that tankha. The British gave her enough money to live very comfortably in a nice palace with her and with her son. She did not have to fight at all. But she chose to fight because for her, the cause was bigger than just her kingdom. She did not like the idea of foreign colonizers coming and taking over. That is why she fought. Her greatness is not that she fought. That is of course a greatness. But her greatness is that she fought even when there was a choice to not fight, to just live on her own and to live a very selfish existence. लेकिन उन्होंने अपने लिए नहीं जिया, उन्होंने जो लड़ाई की वो अपने राज्य के लोगों के लिए की. Lakshmibai story everybody knows, but Kittur Rani Channamma ki story only people this side of the Vindhyas know, unfortunately. But that is because our school books have never honored our own heroes. That is very, very tragic. Resilience and adversity, जो मैं कहती हूँ कि हम आजकल प्रॉब्लम्स की बात करते हैं, उन्होंने कभी प्रॉब्लम्स की बात नहीं की. They also had problems, but they saw the problems as challenges. Just flip the wordage. मेरी लाइफ में इतने प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, ये वाक्य अगर हम अपने आप को बोलें तो इट वेज यू डाउन. यू सी प्रॉब्लम्स, ओनली प्रॉब्लम्स, नो सॉल्यूशंस. बट व्हेन यू से दीज आर द चैलेंजेस इन माय लाइफ, हाउ डज इट फ्लिप योर मेंटल स्टेट? क्या होता है अगर आप प्रॉब्लम्स को चैलेंजेस बना के देखते हो तो आपके मन में क्या होता है? Does it change? Does it change the way you look at things? Does it push you to find solutions, creative solutions to your problems? So what are the important takeaways? Recognize and revive history, apply the strategy in our lives, empower other women leaders and preserve cultural heritage. जब मैं स्वशक्ति अभी वो जो आपका इंस्टीट्यूशन है उसका लोगो जो देख रही थी तो वो लोगो में भी तो वही तो है. There is a woman's face, behind that there is a diya and there is a big bindi here. So you're talking about cultural heritage, you're talking about empowerment, you're talking about finding the power that you are within yourself, and that is what Swashakti is all about. तो अगर हम give to gain की बात करते हैं, कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ देना पड़ता है, ये अगर हम बोलते हैं तो इन सारी स्त्रियों ने कुछ ना कुछ दिया है, अपना पूरा जीवन दिया है, अपना पूरी शक्ति से किसी कॉज के लिए उन्होंने काम किया है. उनको मिला क्या? उनको मिला ये है कि हम आज 2026 में इस हॉल में बैठ के उनकी कहानियाँ सुन रहे हैं, सुना रहे हैं, उनसे कुछ सीख रहे हैं. So what is it that we can learn from them? I know that a talk like this is very easy and all of you will go back to your own challenges, to your own lives, and all of you are going to have your unique problems, your unique roadblocks. So what do we learn from these women? We learn that for every challenge there is a solution. If you give your everything, even if the problem seems huge at that point of time, अगर आप उसके खिलाफ आपकी लड़ाई जारी रखोगे, कंसिस्टेंट रहोगे, रेजिलिएंट रहोगे, तो आपको ज़रूर यश मिलेगा, कभी ना कभी तो मिलेगा. तो उसके लिए मेरा एक मंत्र है, इजी मंत्र. It is a mnemonic. It is called Shakti, SHAKTI. And that is what I want you to live. That is the mantra that we can learn from these women and their stories. So what do you think S stands for? Share. आपके पास जो भी है, आपके पास ज्ञान हो सकता है, आपके पास हेल्थ हो सकता है, आपके पास समय हो सकता है, आपके पास पैसे हो सकते हैं. जिसके पास नहीं है उसके साथ शेयर करो. If you are a mentor, if you have knowledge in your respective fields, mentor somebody, mentor a younger woman. Help her learn your skills. If you have time, devote the time to the less fortunate, to the causes, to teaching girls, to anything that you are dedicated to. If you have money, obviously that's the easiest thing to share actually. Everything else is more difficult, it requires personal involvement. Money and resources are the most easiest things to give away. Second, share. Shakti ka share S ho gaya. H. What do you think H stands for? Help. Obvious hai na? So help is very, very interesting. See, when you start off in any field, there is competition. In any field, that is the lowest level. For example, many of you are from medical fields. So when you're getting into a medical college, there's only one thing you're thinking of, which is competition, right? There are too few seats. You have to crack NEET. You have to be the top 1 mark, 0.1 mark percent also makes a difference. So that level is competition. It's always competition. So, okay, you compete and you compete and you compete and you win. And you get that seat. जब आप इन मेडिकल कॉलेज में जाते हो तो आपको compete करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You move on to the next stage, which is coexistence. जिन लोगों से आप इतने साल compete कर रहे थे उसी मेडिकल सीट के लिए, maybe they have got in other colleges, or maybe they have got in your college, or whatever it is. But you learn to coexist. वो अपना काम कर रहा है, तुम तुम्हारा काम कर रहे हो, चल रहा होता है. You become doctors. Now, the true way to grow, true way to go to the next level is not to compete, not even to coexist. It is by the third C, which is collaboration. So you become a cardiologist, the other person becomes a radiologist, the same person with whom you had competed very harshly all through these years. But now you can collaborate. Now you can join hands together and both of you that way will grow your sphere of influence. Make sense? From competition to coexistence to collaboration. So that is the H part. Now comes A. What do you think A stands for? Assert. क्योंकि अभी जो प्रीति मैम जो बोल रही थी वो मैं बहुत ध्यान से सुन रही थी. She said that when she started off, she was a very soft-spoken, very gentle person. But in order to make herself grow and to make the organization grow, she had to change her personality. She had to be more assertive. She had to get certain things done. So you have to assert. And when you assert, you have to assert it in such a way that you don't antagonize people. You are collaborating, you are helping, you are sharing, but you are also asserting. You are not becoming a doormat. Then comes K. What does K stands for? No. जिसी भी फील्ड में आप हो, चाहे आप डॉक्टर हो, इंजीनियर हो, होम मेकर हो, स्टूडेंट हो, कुछ भी हो, you have to keep yourself on top of the things that are happening in your field. You have to constantly adapt, you have constantly know, you have to constantly up your skills. अगर वो नहीं होता है तो the world will leave you behind. Then comes T. What does T stand for? Teach. जो आपको पता है, जो skills आपने बहुत hard work से gain किए हैं इतने सालों में, teach them to somebody. Teach them to somebody who is younger. Teach them to somebody who is in need of it. Last is I. What does I stand for? Inspire. Like these women who have existed from 9th century and their stories continue to inspire us today, let us try and inspire maybe 5 people around us. Do something that those 5 people feel compelled to do what you did or to learn something from you, learn some skills from you, those they can apply to their lives. अगर हम सब लोग इस सिंपल से मंत्र का अगर यूज करें शक्ति, तो मुझे लगता है कि आज जो हम बोल रहे हैं विमेंस डे के लिए, वैसे तो हर डे ही वुमेन्स डे होता है, तो हमें ऐसे फंक्शंस भी होल्ड करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, वो केवल सेलिब्रेशन के लिए होगा. वी हैव टू रिकॉग्नाइज द शक्ति विद इन अस, and that is true empowerment, and that no one else can can do it for you, and that is what these women also tell you. Thank you so much. धन्यवाद.
ये था आज का भाषा संगम, जिसमें हमने श्रीमती शेफाली वैद्य जी को सुना, जो एक बहुभाषी लेखिका है, स्तंभकार और प्रेरक वक्ता है. महिलाओं के ऊपर के अपने विचार उन्होंने प्रस्तुत किए. कैसा था आज का एपिसोड, ज़रूर बताइए. नंबर है 9019904904. यह है केएलई वेणुध्वनि 90.4 FM की प्रस्तुति. नमस्कार.